Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. By now, you know me, Brother Allen Hensley. You know, this is a video that I feel we have to make that addresses something that seems like nobody wants to talk about. It's not an easy subject, it's one that I've dealt with. It's one that a lot of vets deal with. And that's our brothers and sisters in arms dying when we come home, whether it's by their hand or someone else's, or because they put someone in a position for that to happen. PTSD is a real thing. It's not an easy thing to deal with by any means, but it's real. And we need to have a conversation about it because far too many of our veterans who fought for this country are being left out in the cold, being told by people who were never in a combat zone to just, get their shit straight, get their head right. It's not that fucking easy. If it was, we wouldn't have an issue. If it was, people like me damn sure wouldn't have had an issue. I could get my head right about any damn thing. But PTSD is something that is a bitch. Loud noise will set you off if you're not expecting it. If you've been in combat and had ordnance dropped around you, fireworks fucking trigger you. A car backfiring can put you back into a space that, it's not good. Hell, fucking pots of pans falling can fucking do it. We need more help from mental health professionals, from the VA, and from each other, meaning other vets who've been through it, to help our brothers and sisters stay living. I just found out today a friend of mine that I had served with, he took a bullet for me overseas, died by his own hand because he couldn't get his mind right. And that's sad. He was a hell of a good man, hell of a good father, hell of a good provider. He did what he had to do. And he came home and he couldn't make peace with what he had to do overseas. As a result, he took his life. And I'm sad. And I'm fucking mad as well. It took me a lot of years when I came home of drifting around, getting into trouble, drinking, doing other drugs, trying to self-medicate, and it didn't work, not for long. Thankfully, I got enough and someone who cared about me enough, and he was a cop, he's a cop still, to get me into the VA because he didn't want to kill me. I wanted him to. God knows I wanted him to. I pointed my weapon right at him. Told him if he didn't kill me, I was going to kill him. And instead he talked me through it. And I'm thankful he did that. Because I'm alive today because of it. Now, some people would say, well, you're a veteran, you have the VA to go to. Believe it or not, a lot of vets won't go to the VA unless they're missing an arm or a leg or something, because we feel those who are missing body parts need to use it more than we do. Now, I go to a couple of groups online that are run by vets and that deal specifically with PTSD and a few other issues. I was also seeing a psychiatrist at the VA. Good woman. In order for someone like me to talk to a person about what I've been through, there's a mountain of paperwork that has to be filled out. And I mean a mountain worth. But when it's done, if I'm not going to be honest, which I am, it helps. It helps a lot with everything. Helps a lot with getting my head around what I had to do. There was a lot of bad things I had to do. Some good, but a lot of bad. I still have issues with it today, but I've learned some coping skills. You see, that's the bad part about the military. When your service to this country is done, or you decide, okay, I've had enough, I want to become a civilian now, the military gives you your DD 214 and cuts you loose. And says, now you're a vet, you can go to the VA. The problem with that is not a lot of us go to the VA because we know it's already strained, we know it's corrupt, and the fucking money is there for the services, but they don't offer the services because the people at the top of the VA take 99.9% of the money and trickle down a few pennies to say, well, see, the money's going here and this is administration cost. But we need to do better by our vets. Not just those that are coming home with TBIs or missing body parts and stuff, but those of us who seem like we're healthy. I mean, I get all my arms and legs, and my memory's still good, but when I came home, I was a mess. And that's just the guy's honest truth. I was a fucking mess. How anyone was able to put up with me, I'll never know. I couldn't go to a grocery store because it would set off fucking an attack. Because of so many people, I got used to not being around a lot of people like that. You know, I couldn't go to a convenience store. Same reason, too much input, sensory input. You know, I had to literally limit what I could do and take very small steps. And I mean very small, screw baby steps. They were fucking more like fucking the steps of a single-celled fucking amoeba. They were tiny, tiny, microscopic steps I had to take to get where I am today. And even today I got issues with going into a store. I'm the type of guy that you'll see. I'll go into a store, yep, but then I'm right back out. I go in, I get what I need to get, I get the fuck out. Because if I stay another 2 minutes in that store, it's gonna be fucking hell. And I know it. And I can feel when it's starting to happen to me. Start to sweat, my hands start to shake, start getting an uneasiness in my stomach. I'm watching everybody's hands, watching their body language. Tells me it's time to get. Sometimes I forget things while I'm in there because I just can't stand another minute. And there's a lot of vets that are like that. We need to do better by our veterans. And to all my brothers and sisters out there who've served our great country, you're not alone. It's not just happening to you. It's not you just not being able to get your mind right. It's that you've been through traumatic events that last forever. You'll never forget them. And you need, and I'll plead with you, I'll beg you, you need to find a vet who understands, a psychiatrist who understands, and get with them. Talk with them. Be honest with them about how you feel. Don't just sugarcoat say everything's fine. It's bullshit. They can see it. I can see it. People can see it in me. You need to get the help. You need to be willing to admit you can't do this on your own. Get the help that's needed to save your life, maybe save someone else's, save your family's life, maybe even save your family. There's a lot of vets that end up homeless because they couldn't reconcile what they did overseas, and now they're home and their family is loving them and everything. They don't think they deserve it because of the bad they did. I'm here to tell you, you deserve it. You're worthy of it. And be honest with your family. It will help. And it will help to get you home. Not just physically, but mentally home as well. Thank you for your service to this great country. You're not alone.